Welcome back, folks. Uh, you know, I've got something very, very serious to discuss that the media has been harping on since the debate, and they've made a great deal out of this. And I just kind of felt compelled to just say a few words about it. Um, I'd like to talk to you about the subject of Sesame Street. Um, Hard to believe that that's what the drive-by lamestream media wants to discuss is Sesame Street. And as we know, during the debate, Mitt Romney had said that we've got to cut spending, and mentioned one of the things would be cutting the $130 million to PBS, the public broadcasting system, and I know a lot of people have gotten used to PBS being there, and there are some good shows on PBS. But frankly, it's not something that the American taxpayer needs to be paying for, let alone be borrowing money from the communist Chinese to subsidize. I'm sure there would be other places like Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network that would be glad to pick up, Sesame Street. Um, as regular programming. But here's something. Since the media has made much to do about this, let's look at Sesame Street. Let's do it. Since the media has made the claim that Mitt Romney wants to fire Big Bird. That's what they've been saying. He wants to fire Big Bird. Well, let's look at the truth in that statement. Mitt Romney doesn't want to fire Big Bird. Mitt Romney said he likes Big Bird. But just because you like something, you know what? I like having the super expanded, all-encompassing cable channel. But you know what? I can't afford that. So I scale it back. But let's look. This is PBS. This is a government-sponsored television channel. And what do we got? We've got a large yellow bird that talks, that's unemployed. You've got an angry monster that lives in a trash can. You've got another blue guy, the Cookie Monster. He's obviously diabetic, living off government cookies. You've got a depressed elephant, the old Snuffleupagus there. He's in a state of depression. Which, you know what? How can you blame him? I mean, he's got a bunch of unemployed friends and people living in trash cans. And you got Ernie and Bert. What are these guys? I mean, half the time they never get out of their pajamas. And they obviously don't have jobs. So what do we have out of this? I mean, is this a perfect government experiment? This is what you get when you rely on the government. Chronic unemployment, diabetes, living in garbage cans. All that's left is for Michelle Obama to come in there. It's kind of funny. I was thinking about this. I was like, all she needs to do is come out with a new character, to put into Sesame Street. And I wonder what she would call a new character. And it just kind of came to me. She'd call it Broccoli Obama. So, folks, the mainstream media, this is what they've been reduced to after that debate, is bitching and whining about Sesame Street. Look, I remember Sesame Street as a kid. We can't afford to pay for it. So either PBS needs to scale back some of its programs, cut loose the programs that nobody watches. But this is the problem: is when you have an endless supply of government money, which is not government money, it's taxpayer money, that they just continue to pump out garbage. They fail to live within their means, and we can't do that anymore. Frankly, I'd rather lose PBS and keep a little bit more of my money. I understand it's paltry. It's $110 or $130 million a year. It's a paltry sum compared to the $1.2 trillion deficit. But it's a start nonetheless. And we need a house cleaning top to bottom. Get rid of redundant programs. Get rid of programs that don't work. And this is a start. So when people, like these comedians like Bill Maher start talking about, they try to, make a big joke out of it. oh yeah, well, $130 million. Yeah, I'd like to have the $1 trillion we spent on a war. You know what? I get it. And when the war is over, the budget needs to go back down. But that doesn't mean we can't clean these other things up in the meantime. So we got to start somewhere. Is it easier to just to pull our troops back and leave a place in shambles, or is it easier to scale back PBS? We just got to have the courage to say enough's enough. So anyway, I just thought a kind of comic that the left is jumping all over Romney about this firing Big Bird thing. Like I said, all he's wanting to do is get Big Bird off of government welfare, and I think it's funny. Yellow Bird on government cheese. You got angry people living in garbage cans, depressed elephants, two roommates that hardly ever get out of their pajamas and obviously don't have a job. PBS, perfect example of a government program. Thanks for watching.